Hi yogis, today's practice is for your low back. I will start by saying that if you think that there is something a little bit more serious happening in your low back that might need the attention of a doctor, please seek a professional. This video is meant to keep your low back strong and stable while bringing a little bit of flexibility to your middle and upper back. But it's not meant to be a medical professional's opinion because I am not a doctor. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna start in the seated position. You can take any leg option of choice, extending one out or the other or both. Option to cross the legs or stack them. But find a comfortable seated position. I've got a blanket under me and I'll be using my blanket throughout the practice. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, all the way from the bottom of our spine to the top of our head, as if somebody's pulling a little gentle string. And we always start with a few rounds of inhales and exhales so that we can settle into our practice. And start to bring your awareness, your presence to your mat, to your body. Maybe take a gentle scan of how your spine is doing today, how that low back is feeling, the middle part of your back, and the upper spine and neck as well. And just know that all the sensations that you're feeling are a culmination of the movements you do throughout your day, all the way from your feet to the top of your head. One more inhale. And exhale. If you chose to close your eyes, you can slowly bring them open. And from your seat, we'll take a few cactus twists. So you bring arms out to the sides and the arms come to a cactus-like position. And trying to keep the hips stable, we're going to twist left and right, just through the middle and the upper part of our spine. We'll take 3 rounds of gently moving side to side. And on that last round, then we'll bring our cactus back to center, bring the palms down to the sides, and we'll take a few more active twists here. Just a few, left and right. Swing side to side. And the next time that you plant off to the left, go ahead and stick where the hands rest. You can even bring that right hand to that opposite knee, maybe look over that back shoulder. And if you feel comfortable, deep in your twist, gently pulling with the hand on the knee. Before we unwind, bring your gaze back forward, then come back to center, and take a few more twists, left and right. Speed is up to you. The next time that you twist off to the right, go ahead and let your hands stick. And then take a gaze over that back shoulder. Maybe that hand comes to that knee. These are all options, of course. And before you unwind, take a look over that front shoulder. And then bring it back to center. We're going to move into a tabletop. Here's where your blanket might come in handy underneath the knees. We'll take a few cats and cows, and you can make these as lively as you want. The regress version is inhale, drop the belly, the chest comes forward, the chin comes up. And on your exhale, you'll tuck the chin, push through the palms around the upper spine, and the tailbone tucks. Inhale. And exhale. Option to make it a bit more lively. You can keep going with those inhale, exhales at that first version, or take a little Mocha Lotive version that brings a bit more strength into the upper body, making sure that you go in both directions. And then take a few more cats and cows of either that locomotive version or the basic cat and cow. Maybe one more good lift of the chest. Dropping of the belly. And then coming back to center, we'll take a few leg lifts. Extend the left leg behind you. And keeping everything stable from the hip upward, lift the leg as high as it'll go, and then bring it back down. Option to take a bend into the knee if you need a little less action today. But either version will bring some strength into the back side of the leg, the hamstrings, the glutes, which support that low back area. And if you feel like your belly wants to drop down when you take your lifts, then simply tuck it back up and lift less high with the leg. After a few, maybe 5 or so, we'll switch to our second side, extending through the right leg and keeping everything upward stable and lifting to the back leg, whether it's long or with the knee bent. And trying to keep the hips stable, that belly lifted upwards. Nice. You can drop back down into your tabletop. Take a brief child's pose where we'll send the bottom back towards the hips and the arms can go extended overhead or to the sides. And come back to your tabletop where we'll take a few cactus twists. You're going to shift the weight into the right palm, and the left arm is going to lift into either a cactus pose or the extended version where you come up with the arm to a T. And then take a few lifts and opening twists here. I'm going for 5. You can always regress and bring it into that cactus if the arm extended is too much. Plant the palm back down and extend through our opposite arm, either to that T or to the cactus. And then take your 5 lifts here. And after that 5th good lift and twist, we're going to plant the palm back. We're going to return to our tabletop and we'll take a standing position. So you can get to standing a couple of different ways. You can tuck the toes and press into the feet and come into a down dog. But if down dog is just not in your practice today, then you can also simply bring the body upright and then step forward left and right until you're standing. If you're in your down dog, then you'll bend the knees and tiptoe the feet forward. And either way, you're going to find yourself in a hanging pose or ragdoll. Just stay for a brief moment. Feet can go as wide as you'd like. And to come to standing, we're going to bring the hands up the legs to the thighs. Keeping a bend in our knee, we'll press into the thighs to lift the upper belly, back, spine until eventually we come upright and to standing. From standing, we're going to take a big side stretch. Root down through the outer edge of the right foot. And on an inhale, reach up with the right arm. Point up towards the ceiling and then off to our side. Come back to center. Bring the arm down. We'll switch it to our second side. Root down through the outside of the left foot. Inhale, reach up with the left arm. Point up towards the ceiling. Extend. And then lean off to your side. Back to center. Arm lowers down. And then one more. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, stretch it to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arm comes down. Inhale, reach with the left. Up towards the ceiling and exhale, off to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the arm down. And 2 ways to come into your high lunge today. You can offer a little bit more balance by sending the weight into that right foot, lifting the right toes, and taking a long, slow step back until you come into that high lunge. And if that's just not in your practice today, then you could take a couple of step backs until you find the high lunge that is right for you. And we're working to try to bring some openness through that back hip, a little strength in her through that front leg. So press feet, heels, palm, everything that's touching the floor, press it into the ground and then start to draw the legs in towards each other. A little extra activation for that lower body. And we'll take a gentle chest opener. The palms come to the sides, the hands face forward. We'll lift the chest, the chin slightly. And then depending on how open you want to go with the chest, you might even lift the palms a little bit further back behind you. And then bring it all back to center. Hand can come down to the knee to help you support into your low lunge. And once you're in a low lunge, we'll take a side stretch here where your right arm's going to stay at your side. Inhale, reach up with the left, back towards that ceiling, and then exhale off to the side. Staying for the extra breath, and that back left toe on top of the foot is going to press into the mat. Inhale, bring the arm back to center. Exhale, set the arm off to the side. And then bring the hand to the knee. Coming into our high lunge, we're going to tuck those back toes and we're going to press it out. And if you want the extra balance for today, then when you step forward, same as when you step back, shift the weight. Try to lift that back foot, engage. Point either through the toe or the heel, whatever feels better for you. Or you can drag the foot forward on the mat. Either way, try to find a little bit of access to that front toe standing balance. Nice. We're going to take everything off to our second side. Coming to the top of our mat. And we'll take that back, step back with our high lunge the same way. You can either take several steps or one long balanced lifted leg foot stretch back behind you. Shift the weight into that left foot and then either lift the toes or the leg. Take several steps or one big one, but find your high lunge. Palms come off to the sides, pressing whatever's touching the floor into the ground and then lightly drawing the legs towards each other, as if you're trying to scissor them closed. Spread the palms wide, the chest lifts. You might even reach the arms back behind you. And then slowly work it back forward. Dropping into our low lunge, hand to knee. Coming on in and then taking our second side stretch here. Arms extend to the sides. And this time the left hand stays down at your side. On your inhale, reach up with the right towards the ceiling. Exhale, lean off to the left. Back toe, top of the foot presses into the floor. Bring it back to center. And on your exhale, lower the hand down. Coming into that high lunge. Hands to heart center or to that knee to help tuck the back toes and inhale, press it out back to our high lunge. And then the same step forward with the extra balance, or instead of lifting the foot, you drag it along the floor. Either way, we'll eventually come to standing. We'll take a gentle stretch, extension of the spine back behind us. Take your palms and you're going to place them more or less where your hip bones are, where your pelvic is at. You don't want to be pressing into that muscle tissue of the upper back, that middle area. You want to be right where your pockets would be more or less. And bonus to open the chest, pull the shoulders back behind you. The elbows can point behind you as much as they can. And on your inhale, bend into the knees, the hips shift forward and take a slight back bend as you push palms into hips. Notice I'm long through the spine, all the way to the top of the head. My chin isn't lifted all the way up to the ceiling. I'm not cranking into that back neck and scrunching down into it. Work it back to center. Maybe you even notice a little core belly action on the front end as well as the back doing this. And we'll take a second stretch backwards. Bend into the knees. Palms press into the hips. They shift slightly forward. You extend through the spine. The chin stays tucked. Reach open through the chest. And then bring it back to center. Nice. We're going to move on to the floor and onto the belly. So however you'd like to get there. Doesn't matter if you want to take an extra pose or two to get down to the floor. If you simply want to bring yourself down to the knees and to that tabletop. And then eventually we're going to come down onto the belly. Lowering it down. And then once we're onto the belly, we're going to take a few locust lifts to start. Our head can be on the ground. And the arms can either be at that cactus position or they can be at a T. They can be up and overhead. I know these are lots of options, but it's always good to have options because one day you want to bring the arms overhead. Another day you're like, I just want to bring myself to a cactus. But either way, the next time that you inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, lift the arms, press the pelvic, the belly into the ground. An option to press either the tops of the feet and the toes in or to lift them as well. And lower it down to the mat. Option to keep the arms where they're at or try a different version. Inhale, lift, head, chest, maybe arms. Perhaps even the feet. Lower it down to the mat. Try a different version with the arms. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, the arms, legs. And point to the toes just as much as you're reaching to the top of the head. Lower it down. We'll take one more, or option to sit this one out. Or I suppose lie this one out. Inhale to lift the head, the chest, shoulders, maybe feet as well. Extending from head to toe. Working that whole backside to lift, engage. Lower it down. And then roll onto the back. And once you're on your back, you'll take a bend into the knees, plant the feet onto the ground. And you notice that I've got a blanket under my belly, under my hips and pelvic, but you don't have to have it there. You could always set it aside. I kind of like it. It lifts my hip bones up a little. Take a few windshield wipers left and right. Whatever pace you'd like to go. Option to get the extra stretch in by pushing through that top knee and lengthening. And then bring the knees back to center, to stillness. Extend through the right leg long, the left knee comes in, wrap the hands around the shin, pull the knee into the chest towards the armpit. Keep stable here, and then press the knee back into the palm. Start to slow down the breaths. Gently release your hand to knee, go long with the leg. And we'll switch off to our second side. Our knee comes in, we lace around the knee itself, pull that leg in towards our belly and chest, and then press the knee back into the palms. And release, hand to knee, the leg goes long with the other. We'll take one bridge pose today. Bend the knees, plant the feet down to the floor. And the next time that you inhale, press into the palms, the feet, lift the belly, lift the hips. Go as high as you'd like to go. It could be a very short version. It can be an extended lift upward. The extra activation comes from dragging your feet towards the top of your head. It's a motion that you make internally. You don't actually move the feet. You're just giving a tug at the mat as if you want to drag the feet towards you. And if you decided to activate through the heels and through the feet, then let that go as you slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Back down to your mat. We'll take a gentle figure four. The right ankle is going to cross over that left knee. You can stay here, or you can lift the leg towards the body. You can lace up between the legs, back of the knee. Option to use that elbow to bring open that hip, that knee off to the side. Maybe take a few circles or point and flexes with your extended leg through the ankle, through the toes. And release it down to the mat. We'll switch it off to our second side. We've got just one more pose after this. Cross the legs. Option to bring that leg back towards us. To push that knee open and away. Maybe take some circle rounds. Ankle, toes, point and flex through our extended leg. And then set it down. Last one, happy baby. Bring the feet up towards the ceiling. Grab onto whatever is accessible. If that's calves, if that's heels, if that's ankles, feet. And rock side to side. A little massage for that low back. Or you can be still. And start to slow the breath down even further. Bring the feet to touch, and then the legs start to work down to the ground as the arms and hands drape down them. Moving into our last pose of Shavasana, which does not have to be long legs, extended arms out to the sides. If you're more comfortable taking a bend into the knee, allowing the knees to drape in towards each other with wide feet, or even taking a butterfly where the knees splay open to the sides, feet touch. Find your version of corpse pose that best serves you. We'll stay for just a few rounds of inhale, exhales, nice and slow. Sink into the mat. And draw all your attention inward. Start to bring a little bit of awareness from within back out. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, the wrists, the ankles. And when you're ready, if your legs weren't extended long, extend them now. Reach overhead, fingers to toes. And roll off onto your favorite side. Bend into the knees. Create a little pillow with the arm for the head. And then press into the palms, the arms to eventually come upright and seated. And palms can stay wherever they're at, leg crossing or extension of choice, or the hands can come together, heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed these exercises, these strengtheners, these stretches. A little bit more mobility and strength in the spine and care the low back. You'll notice that we worked from head to toe because it's all connected, just as we're all connected. And every action has a reaction, so take care of yourself. From the feet to the knees, to the hips, to the back, to the shoulders, to the head, to the heart. Namaste.